Hello, everybody over here Daily Plays. Player here once again, bringing some more The Rumble. Still now Modern Horizon 3 bundle cracking. This is already day number 6, which means it's time for pack number 6. Let's see what goodies we uncover tonight. Yesterday's pack was pretty good. Got, if I recall correctly, the bestest of dogs. Maybe also put it in the corner. Yep, there we go. Got the bestest of doggos. With Belia, I think it was her name. Some really nice uncommons and commons. Well, it was a pretty good pack. Really enjoyed it. Here's some useful cards for my decks. Yeah. Let's see what we can cover today. Let's see. Ooh. I'm already tore up there. Yeah, whatever. Oh, we got another art card. Good. Let's see, who are you? Soren of House Markov. Ah. Let's start with this one then, shall we? First off, we got the art card of the pack. This way. Oh, this is aber the special. Sorry. This is actually the special art of him. On the base one, you just see him sitting grumpily at a dinner table with his family. Yeah, this is Soren's pre-flipped side when he's not yet a vampire, he's actually just a little boy, noble. And yeah, it's a pretty cool artwork. His pose and face reminds me a bit of Sephiroth. I mean, the hair is too short, I know, but I don't know. Or a bit also of the original Alucard pictures from the Castlevania series. What do you think? It could fit pretty well in there. I mean, to be fair, his role actually is similar to Alucard's, as being a vampire yet still trying to do good and protect the people of his world. So, I mean, yeah, neat. Get over here, Mr. Soren, sir. Alrighty. I just noticed that's actually where we put the preview of our cards. Ah, whatever. Let's move you up here. Let's move you up. Right. I still haven't properly marked out the new camera's position on the table and know what everything is. So you might have noticed also when I'm zooming too far out. I always have to gauge how far I have to go for you all to see the card properly. Let's start with, ooh, some snacks. Gift of the Viper. 1 green. Instant. Put a +1/+1 counter, reach counter, death touch counter on target creature and untap it. Neat little combo trick. I mean, it does not necessarily protect the creature from dying, but it gives it a fair amount of options like +1/+1 reach and death touch. I mean, pretty much whatever it's blocking should be dead, unless it is indestructible, of course. Yes. And yeah, I mean, it also can block flying creatures. Can you do this with due to the untapping also on a tapped creature that attacked previously? That's pretty cool. Really cool. I mean, neat little combo trick. Most likely you could say this is like a removal spell. Almost. Like a combo trick. Kill something. I mean, it pretty much is a combo trick to kill something. Not bad for 1 mana. I mean, I prefer spells that also let my things stick around, but I mean, this is good enough. Most of the time, like, you definitely should get rid of something. And I mean, the +1/+1 might help in keeping the thing alive. Also pretty good because then, in case it's a wall or something like that you have there, it at least has 1 power to kill something. So, yeah, overall a pretty neat little spell. All mages willingly endure the bites of vipers, believing the snakes bestow great power on those who survive their venom. Not so sure about that, but I mean, it's the what doesn't kill you makes you stronger saying. So I do get that. Alright. Oh, neat little spell. I'm sure if I would play that in one of my decks. Yeah. Maybe, I mean, in this set it's also pretty good because with all the counters being added, because that counts as modifying creatures. I mean, to be fair, you only modify the same creature 3 times. But still, if there's something like, whenever a counter is put on this, then something happens, that sounds pretty good. Alright, so next we have the Accursed Marauder. Cute little critter. Basically, Flashback Marauder's little brother. It's a 1 generic, 1 black, 2/1 creature zombie warrior. And as I already hinted at it, when the Cursed Marauder enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices an important non-token creature. He's a bit meaner than the Marauder. Downside being, of course, most of the time you cannot sacrifice a token on your own. You actually have to sacrifice... I mean, 9 out of 10 times it's basically him, because 2-1 on the board, like what is worse for you to have on the board? I mean, because if you have something on the board that says, when I die, I do something good, then of course that will have to bite the dust. But most of the time he will... Most of the time he's basically like an edict spell, so to say. An edict that only lets everybody else sacrifice a non-token creature, so... He's pretty good, he is recurable. I think he fits in my Alicia deck. The Cursed Everdoron to the Heckma. As though its presence provides a brief respite in their lives of eternal torment. Yeah. There's a Baron Wasteland there. I think we've seen a similar staff already on some other cards. Not entirely sure where to put that plane-wise. Escaped my memory currently, but cool card. Definitely neat little trick. Wind Edicts are always fine, especially if they can get rid of some nests. As I said, if someone has a big, for example, like a Lord type creature and a lot of tokens, and this will definitely get rid of the Lord, because I mean that, yeah, it's actually no tokens, that's pretty good. If you don't have a Bestest of Dogs, what can you do? Well, you can become one with the Dog Umbra. It's for 1 generic, 1 white, an enchantment aura. It has flash. You can play it anytime you can play an instant. It enchants a creature, and as long as another player controls the enchanted creature, it can't attack or block. So basically it's like a pacify effect. Like, you're now a good dog. Yes, who's a good dog? Yes. And yeah, if you're the Bestest of Dogs controller, then it just has Umbra Armor. I think originally was called slightly differently, right? Totem Armor, I think, was the original name of those, but now it's called Umbra Armor, because I think all the spells are called Umbra. I guess they were like, yeah, that makes more sense. But to be fair, it does. Yeah. So basically, if the enchanted creature would be destroyed, instead remove all damage from it and destroy this aura instead. Yeah. Is there something else to say there? Not really, not really. So either it's a protection spell for one of your creatures, or as I said, a sort of soft removal. I mean, to be fair, the creature still can use its ability, so that's a downside compared to the newer incarnations of the Rest. Yeah, I guess Rest is actually the correct one that doesn't let them use abilities. But it's still fine. It's definitely an upgrade to Pacify effect. Neat, neat. Here you go again. Select them all, and we got a returning candidate. That's actually, I think, our first returning card. And not have any dupes so far, because then everyone's pack 6. That's pretty good. Oh, bad. I will see. Like, if we want to build a deck, of course, and it's like, I need multiple copies. This is the Smelted Chartbug again. 1 generic, 1 red artifact creature insect. 1 free with menace, so 2 mana, 1 free menace. Not too bad, not too great either. But there's more to the package this little guy has. Because it also stores 2 charges of energy. So when we enter it enters the battlefield, it delivers us 2 energy. And when it attacks, we may pay 1 energy. And if we do, another target attacking creature gets +1/+0 and menace as well until end of turn. So pretty much sweet deal. I mean, we were discussing about that already. I think it was 2 days ago when actually I had muted the microphone and started recording, because I was basically starting to record right after my stream. And yeah, for that one I usually mute the mic at the end, and I forgot to unmute it. Smart as I was. No smell trouble attacks, so yeah. I mean, it has to go into the red on its own, which might risk later on losing it. Again, it only starts off with 2 energy, so he most likely will end up using this ability twice early on to get some good damage through. So I mean, this is pretty alright. Effectively, if he wants to protect himself from any kinds of damage, he will end up needing 4 blockers every time. Like blocking the Chartbug and the other thing. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, as I said, like 2 mana, 1 free menace is pretty neat. Yeah, I like it. And we also had this guy last time, so we got a second repeat shortly afterwards. So let's go over him again. This is the Serum Visionary. That's for 2 generic, 1 blue, a creature of a Dalkan Wizard, 2/2. And when the Serum Visionary enters the battlefield, we draw a card and then scry 2. Basically, there's literally a Serum Visions tagged on a stick. In that case, a 2/2 Vedalken. So basically, we pay 2 mana more than the original spell and get a 2/2 body in addition, which we can blink. So in the blink strategies, reanimation strategies, bounce strategies even, that's kind of neat. You can repeat that effect multiple times over. And yeah, of course, it's the effect plus a jump blocker, so that's also neat. 3 criminal notions detected in 6 predict. The suspect will confess when arrested in 2 hours. So yeah, that's a mouthful. I mean, Visions was always a good card. And yeah, having that on a stick is pretty neat. I mean, of course, it makes it more expensive, so... I mean, you know what I mean, like mana cost expensive, like 3 mana for getting the... But I mean, usually even play creatures that just cycle through themselves. And this one not only cycles through, but also gives you quality for the next 2 turns, potentially. So, this is pretty good. And we keep on the trend. We got another one of the landscapes. This time it's the Seething Landscape. This is a land, it is untapped. You can tap it to add a colorless mana. You can tap it and sacrifice it to search for a basic island, swamp, or mountain. Put it on the battlefield and then shuffle. Or late game we can also pay 1 blue, pay 1 black, play 1 red, discard this card, and draw a card because they're cycling. And this is pretty good. I was discussing that. I mean, it's basically a side grade of the actually, I think it's an upgrade of the Panoramas, I should say like that, because Panoramas costed mana to sacrifice, versus 1 doesn't. Panoramas were not as restrictive in Commander, because, for example, you could play the bad Panorama in just a green-white deck, whereas you cannot play this. Oh, bad example, because it's not green-white, but you know what I mean. Like, you have to have all 3 cards due to the color identity locked in here through recycling. That was pretty neat. Artwork-wise, this time we're looking at a bit of a volcano landscape. I think we see some riverbed going through here, and of course some marshlands. I mean, the blue doesn't really get across, but I think the black and the red are neatly represented. There would need to be a bit more river, I feel like, for it to be not just... I mean, it could as well just be swampland, you know? That's a bit of a shame. Well, I guess they are kind of made to represent it, especially the red-blue aspect of it with the steam, so yeah, I can see it. Why is it getting so bright right now? I know why it usually is called at night. And we've got another repeat. Interesting. This pack seems to be full of reprints. Not reprints, sorry, repeats. Cranial Ram. 1 black, 1 red, artifact equipment, living weapon, so when it's at a battlefield. It also brings a 0/0 black Phyrexian Germ token with it, and it gets auto-attached to that one. The equipped creature gets +X +1. When X is the number of artifacts we control, so since this thing is already an artifact, that makes the token at least a 2/2, sorry, a 1/1. I didn't say 2/2, it's 0/0 token. So, you know what I mean. And the other one, we can also equip it for 2, generic. We already discussed it, like, it is a side grade to the RAM. I mean, it brings a body along, so that's neat, but the downside is you're locked into 2 colors instead of just 1. For commander purposes, of course. And also you need the mana ahead. Like, Cranial Plating, the original card, you could just play even if you have no colored sources at all. I think I need to quickly close down the blinds that we because it flares really badly right now on the card. But yeah, we quickly do that. That's better. And also my lighting on the face is fixed now. So I need to cut the noise out there. Okay. And yeah, another repeat. Our first uncommon repeat, the Wumpus Operation. I think this one we had last time in 4, so we can take a bit of a better look in the non-shiny version. This is a nod to a card from... I got to look it up. I think it was Mechalio Mask though. It's a 3 generic 1 green for 6/6 devoid, so it has no color. And when we cast this spell, if a colorless mana wasn't spent to cast it, target opponent may put a creature card from their hand onto the battlefield. And it has Trample, so technically 4 mana, 6/6 Trample is pretty good. The original Wumpus, I think, allowed everybody to put a card into play, or a creature into play, whereas this one only allows 1 opponent, so this in Commander this might be less of an issue. I'm saying might, not will. Really annoying would it be when it's something like a Venza, of course, that then bounces your creature for free, then be really like, nope, I got nothing. But hey, I mean, in a Eldrazi deck, you should be able to get some colorless mana going, so yeah. All who behold its twisted form are consumed by the single mind obsession. Destroy it. Hey, this time I actually also make out those ravens there, that's neat. Or hawks? Buzzards? What those be? What are those birds everywhere? Be buzzards? Not sure, and yeah, there's a poor little human there. I mean, the flavor text doesn't quite get across because it sounds like there should be more people attacking that thing. And also, due to the flavor text, you would feel like everybody gets to put a creature into play, but nope. Only one person. One has the duty to kill that thing. I really like when you still see that, even though it was more prevalent on the foil. It's those neat little roots or dead trees all the way around here. I really like this. That's a nice little charm to the text box. There's a cool card. I mean, if you play a pure Eldrazi deck, or most Eldrazi deck, I guess you will be able to play this reliably as a 4-mana 6/6 trample without giving the enemy something, but yeah, you can never be sure. You need to keep that in mind. Ah, we got a Foxy. Golden Tail Trainer. 1 generic, 1 green, 1 red, creature Fox Samurai. It's a 1/3, so 3 mana 1/3, not the greatest, but let's see what it does. Auras and equipment spells you cast cost X less to cast when X is Golden Tail's power. That's pretty good, because I mean, already starts off with 1 power. Oh, everything costs 1 less. If you somehow give counters for it, for example with the Gift to the Viper, then yeah, everything costs 2 less. That's pretty neat. And whenever Golden Tail Trainer attacks, other modified creatures you control get +X and end of turn when X is Golden Tail Trainer's power. So this is pretty sweet, like in an equipment / aura deck. I'm gonna play that guy. Everything being reduced by at least 1. Yeah, that's pretty neat, that's pretty neat. I might even see if I can squeeze him into my Enchantress deck. I mean, that one already has some cost reduction stuff and things, but hey. Only thing is I don't really play that many creatures in there. Some tokens though, but those also have to be modified though. That's a bit of an issue. I guess the only real thing holding him back is that he actually has to... that he only buffs other modified creatures. That's a bit of downside, but besides that, heck yeah, cool guy and beautiful artwork. Like I guess we're in Idanjo where he trains the little people there in the background. Getting at I guess a spirit target on me because it's floating. Interesting. Sorry, my nose is running right now. I don't really want to do another break here for the videos. Hope we get through this. Legion Leadership. That's another great card. Here's another MDFC card. Again, we keep on getting those. I said previously I did not have that many. 1 generic, and then a hybrid Boros mana. It's an instant. Unline of turn, double target creature's power, and it gains first strike. That's a little bit of a blower. That allows a lot of things to suddenly kill something else. With upside, mind you. And alternatively, we can also cast it, play it as a land and a spell field tapped as the Legion Stronghold, or that can tap for red or white. So in any red-white deck, that's pretty good. Like as long as you have any creatures in there or heck in command, of course you always have a commander. That's a pretty neat little thing. I mean, it allows a 2x creature to reliably kill, or very reliably kill a 4 an X4. That's pretty good. Or for example, push in a lot of damage early on. Really dig this. Flaming Angels are mighty, but their greatest value lies in their favor, in their fear, or their presence kindles in the hearts of a soldier. Okay, sorry, I messed that up slightly. By Argus Cross, that guy's still kicking around. Jesus. Oh yeah, so basically it's not only that the angel is there doing good things, but also that he motivates the Legion to do even better things. And yeah, then Legion. Boros fortresses bristle with high towers so that even at rest, Legion soldiers can remain in the light of the sun. Okay, that's a bit of a weird flavor there, but alright, I get it. Weird, but yeah. And we got a Junk Diver from Urza's Destiny, I believe it was. Junk Diver is for 3 colorless, artifact creature bird. It's a 1/1, has flying, and when the Junk Diver dies, return another target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. So I cannot repeatedly loop him. Because if you have two of them, you can do that, but you need to look the other one. And yeah, garbage in, trash out. I think we already had that guy also, didn't we? Because I think I made that again. Like, look at his shininess and how pretty he is. But he looks a bit more like the treasure than the thing he grabs out of there. Due to the Flaredex being like garbage in, treasure out. I don't feel like the bird is garbage. The bird is fine. What do y'all think? Still, nice little card. Can be useful. I mean, I think it wasn't that great and limited. I don't remember it being that useful for the people that had it, but hey, cool little guy. And now we get to, ooh, alternate art treatment, Volatile Stormdrake. That's for one generic, one blue creature drake. It has flying. So it's first of all, it's for 2 mana, a 3/2. Flying, hexproof from activated and triggered abilities. So it doesn't have true hexproof, but basically you cannot use certain abilities that bounce, stuff like, keep in mind that's activated abilities. There's also stuff like cycling things and triggered abilities, like when you cycle this card, do something. That's also interesting that this has protection from that stuff. Or channeling. And when Volatile Stormdrake enters the battlefield, exchange control of Volatile Stormdrake and target creature and opponent controls. Right? So it's similar to the, what was its name? Oh, I'm playing that one in 2 of my decks, but what was his name? Jeez. Something Drake. Wasn't Stormdrake, was it? Stormdrake? Editor me, please put that in there, because I don't remember what it was. And when the Volatile Stormdrake enters the battlefield, we to change the control, and if we do, but only if we do, mind you, then we get 4 energy. I can't just play this for 2 mana and get 4 energy, that would be crazy. And then we sacrifice that creature unless you pay an amount of blue energy equal to its mana value. Now this is interesting because this is kind of like an edict effect if you think about it, because if you exchange the control, so potentially you can take a big thing from them. If you don't want it to stick around because it's a nasty thing, then you can just sacrifice. Or especially interesting, by the way, if it's something with a dice trigger, because then you get a dice trigger for 2 mana. I mean, of course, they get to keep a birdie around, which actually is pretty tough to remove because you need, like, we don't get triggered abilities and we don't get activated abilities. So the only way to get rid of it is in combat or by playing a spell. Which I think is actually fair because I guess else it would be bananas with something like the crystal shard. So, oh, I tap one, you have to return to the hand, and yeah, then I use it again. Well, this is pretty neat, pretty neat. Which basically was my first read partner here. I was like, wait, it has protection from activated abilities, so no crystal shard action here. Yeah. And of course, if it doesn't cost too much mana, then you may pay the energy and just keep it around. Pretty neat. I like it. It's a cool card. Don't like that the edges are already, I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Edges on this one are already on a bit. Like that. I mean, yes, we know it's in the old card frame, but it doesn't have to look like an old card. Jesus. Wizards, what are you doing? Ooh. We got a shiny little foil here. Drossclaw. 1 generic, 1 black. Artifact equipment. Living weapon, so this again brings a little body with it. The equipped creature gets +1/+1. And whenever the equipped creature attacks, each opponent loses 1 life. So this has to unfortunately run in direct comparison to the Cranial Rat here in this set. And I think even the baseline is the same, like both for 2 mana you get an equipment that gives +1/+1. Like as I said, baseline one. Not ceiling, baseline. And this one always pushes 1 damage through, even if it gets blocked by a wall, for example. Whereas this one will not. However, this one has potential for just blowing people out with a lot of attack power. So I mean, unfortunately this one is way stronger than this one in 99% of decks. I mean, if you build something with the new lizard guys from Bloomberg, because I think the lizards there ask about having an opponent having lost life, then I guess this is a good way to getting that. But then again, I think there are already lizards in the set that do that. Don't get me wrong, it's a cool card, and we finally also see the germ. Like, that's what I was looking for on the Cranial Ram. Like, you see the little guy there? That's the germ. Who doesn't have the classical germ face? It more is like a mite face from the mites from New Phyrexia. Are they? And that's a gorgeous foil. Like, look at that. You see clearly the gushing seas or the steaming sea. The horizon there with the nice, I guess, dawn light? Dusk. It might be more dusk light. And yeah, the claw arm here, that's pretty cool. I mean, cool artwork, gorgeous artwork actually, but the card's a bit lacking. And finally we get another foil. It's a foil mutton. It's again the Castle Volaran, or at least what I assume would be Castle Volaran. So that's kind of cool to have a second one of those now. Sweet, sweet. I like it. Beautiful landscape of the foggy mountainside here in the front. And again, the sun setting there behind the mountains. Very nice. Very nice. I like it. So again, overall, a pretty cool pack. Got a pretty sweet rare there this time. First time we got a lot of repeats. Like, we didn't have a single repeat before. Now we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 repeats? Surprisingly many. Like, before we always had like a 1 card repeats every few packs, and here it's like, yeah, we have 5 at the same time. I mean, I'm not counting lands, of course, because, well, I mean, it's basic. Oh, this was still a cool pack. I hope you had some fun with me. Hope you all will be there again for the next one. Stay tuned. Please let me know what your favorite card from the pack is. I mean, honestly, due to the old framing and everything, I feel like it might be the Drake, actually, for me. Because I like the old frame. I mean, the new ones are fine most of the time, but I'm a sucker for the old frames. Pretty good. Also, pretty gorgeous artwork, actually. I mean, people that know me might say, hey, you like foxes, so you should like the Golden Tate Trainer. I mean, yes, that too, but still, I feel like this might be my favorite. But I mean, you'll see it in a second on the end card. Anyways, enough rambling for me. Have a good one, everybody. See you on the next one. Bye.